We are not here to curse the darkness. We are here to light a candle.
Obviously, that would not be my choice, but I do know Senator Obama. He does not share those views, and we get sometime. I don't. A lot of those statements I have just heard for the first time that you mentioned, but I know that, for example, I've had endorsement of some people that I didn't share their views, but they endorsed mine, and so I think we've got to be very careful about that.
But he wasn't your pastor for 20
As easy as it is for those of us who are white to look back and say, that's a terrible statement. I grew up in a very segregated South. And I think that you have to cut some slack. And I'm going to be probably the only conservative in America who's going to say something like this. But I'm just telling you, we've got to cut some slack to people who grew up being called names, being told you have to sit in the balcony when you go to the movie, you have to go to the back door to go into the restaurant, and you can't sit out there with everyone else. There's a separate waiting room in the doctor's office. Here's where you sit on the bus. And you know what? Sometimes people do have a chip on their shoulder and resentment, and you have to just say, I probably would too. Yeah. I probably would too. In fact, I may have had a more of a chip on my shoulder had it been me.
And worse yet, after what President Clinton said during the South Carolina primary. And worse yet, after what President Clinton said during the South Carolina primary, comparing the Obama and Jesse Jackson campaigns, a disturbing but only borderline remark. After what some in the black community have perceived as a racial undertone to the 3 a.m. ad, a disturbing but only borderline interpretation. And after the moment's hesitation in her own answer on 60 Minutes about Obama's religion, a disturbing but only borderline vagueness. After those precedents, there are those who see a pattern, false or true. They see it. After those precedents, there are those who see an intent, false or true. They see it. After those precedents, there are those who see the Clinton campaign's anything but benign neglect of the Ferraro catastrophe, falsely or truly, as a desire to hear the kind of casual prejudice which still haunts the society, voiced, and to not distance the campaign from it. To not distance you from it, Senator.
It is that fundamental belief. It is that fundamental belief. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper that makes this country work. It's what allows us to pursue our individual dreams and yet still come together as one American family. E pluribus unum, out of many, one.